official good morning. It is Monday, which is very much an admin check-in day for me. We'll do our weekly huddle soon as well. So yeah, I'm just up here replying to all my messages and feedback and doing some planning for the week ahead. Alright, I've come back to the home office for the second half of the day, and to be honest, there's nothing too wild happening this afternoon. It's kind of getting back to the drawing board with planning and things like that. We ran our seminar last week, which was really good, and that was kind of like our main focus for a little while there. And now, yeah, back to some more planning. And it should be a bit easier to speak here this afternoon as well. I just find it's a bit tricky when Jared and Belinda are both in the office as well, and we're just trying to get stuff done. Yeah, there's been a couple of days over the past couple of weeks where I've like wanted to film where I've gone to, but it's either been logistically tricky with like what I've been doing, or I've had days where I've just ended up not feeling good later on in the day, and that is totally fine. I think sometimes instead of feeling frustrated with ourselves for our day not going 100% how we wanted it to, sometimes isn't the most productive way, and it often makes you feel worse. So sometimes if I'm feeling like just like not like myself, or I'm just having a bad day, I just sort of let it happen. I don't try and fix it, and I don't try and force myself to not feel that way. And I think having so many bad days in the past, or going through a period where bad days were more than normal, and now currently I have plenty of good days, and now the bad days are more the rarer part. And yeah, just having had experienced so many bad days, when I do have them, it's a really good reminder on how far I've come as well in this past year too. But yeah, I feel like you couldn't really appreciate the good days without having a couple of bad days here and there as well, and that's totally fine. So what I'm trying to tackle this afternoon is a bit of a game plan in terms of content for both EPM's page and my page. I run both of them, or primarily do the content. I honestly don't stay on top of it most of the time. It does get a lot to keep on top of. Just trying to think of content and ideas that are going to be really helpful and relevant to EPM's audience, while also trying to kind of refine and tweak my own personal brand at the same time. So yeah, the plan is to kind of get some ideas down for this week to sort of set us up and film some things later in the week. So yeah, one of the big challenges of doing personal training or coaching, which I feel like not a lot of people talk about, but when I do tell people about, they're like, oh, of course, it makes sense, is that when you're studying this stuff, whether it's through uni or doing your Cert 3 and 4, the majority of the content that you go to learn about is about the training, is about the nutrition and all the things that you want to teach and help people with. And then when it comes to actually executing it and working with people, half of it is about running a business and knowing how to create content and how to market yourself, which you're not really taught how to do, or only very briefly, and the amount of detail is not sufficient enough to actually feel like you're qualified in business at the same time. You're just qualified to be a personal trainer, you're just qualified to be a nutritionist. So that is one of the biggest challenges that I feel I've really faced ever since starting, and I'm still kind of working through even for nearly 4 years later. So yeah, obviously the main thing that I want to do is help people, help them with their training and their nutrition, get them more confident in the gym, show them how to navigate their food and how it doesn't have to be so complicated and scary. But to actually be able to get to that step, you first need to know how to market yourself, which is kind of like where the hole is. And it's something that's been a massive learning curve for me, and something that I'm still working on. Because yeah, I guess you don't really study that side of it, but it's something that you have to learn along the way. And if you don't, that's why a lot of personal trainers and coaches usually leave the industry after the first year, for that very reason, because it's easy to enter or to get qualified, but then actually making and being able to grow from there is where the challenge is, for sure. just getting some afternoon steps in, and I was doing some thinking, which could be a bit dangerous, but most of the things I was thinking about was how I've been able to achieve such a different mental state this year compared to last year. And I guess the main difference is last year, it's all in the way that I talk to myself. And last year I used to get very frustrated and mad at myself when I didn't do things 100% perfectly. So if I procrastinated too much, if I didn't stick to my macros perfectly, if I spent too much time on Instagram and just didn't feel productive and was able to achieve all the things that I wanted to, I would just get so mad at myself. I would call myself names, I would beat myself up, and that wasn't an empowering place to move forward from, and I was more likely to repeat that behavior in the future. Because when you think about it, when you call yourself a failure, when you call yourself a lazy piece of shit, when you call yourself a dumbass, you're more likely to behave like that in the future, because you're kind of taking it on as part of your identity. So instead, what I started doing was, instead of getting mad at myself, I just accepted that that's what I did, because getting mad at yourself isn't going to allow you to reverse time and have that chance to do it differently anyway. It's done, you've got to move on. But instead, reaffirming to myself that next time when I come to the same decision or the same crossroad, I'm capable of doing better next time. I know that I had it within myself to do better than that, to perform better than that, and that was a much more empowering place to move forward from. So now whenever I don't do things 100% perfectly, and to be honest, everyone doesn't 100% of the time anyway, we all do it, we all procrastinate at times, we all don't make the 100% best decisions that support our goals all the time, and that's totally fine, we're human. But you'll be so much more happy, productive and successful in the future if you're able to just accept it, observe it, and reaffirm to yourself that next time you are capable of doing better, you are capable of more, and you'll be so much more empowered to make a different decision next time. And I think that is really what it means to be your own best friend in those situations, which has become such a cliche sort of thing that no one really knows what it means anymore. But it's really important that you learn how to do that, because at the end of the day, it's you and you. Like, you are the only person that you're with all the time. No one's going to want you to be happier and to succeed more than yourself. So you've got to really want that for yourself, and you've got to learn how to back yourself and be in your own corner. I'm back at the desk, and I'm just wrapping up my day by replying to any messages that I've gotten throughout the day, which is pretty much done. All feedback and check-ins are done, and then I'm just finalizing my to-do list for tomorrow. And one thing that I've started doing that I find really, really helpful to help me organize my day is breaking up my day into blocks. So what I used to do, which didn't really work for me, was I just used to have this one big to-do list for the day, and all these like little tasks, or some weren't little, some would normally take more than a day. It was just something to constantly chip away at. And what I would find would end up happening was I would just feel very scattered, like I wouldn't know what to pick up, and I would just feel like I would work on little bits, but I wouldn't actually like finish or achieve anything. So what I started doing now is I've started breaking my day down into blocks with like that's dedicated to a certain task. So for that hour, I'm just sort of focusing on it, and I'm not getting distracted by anything else, and I'm more likely to be productive in that hour, because I know that once that hour is up, I have to move on to something else. And to help me use my day as best as possible, I like to go through the day before and sort of plan that out a little bit, just so I'm not coming in the morning and being like, shit, what is my first thing I've got to do? It's already in there ready to go. So yeah, I'm just going through and plugging all those different things in. Just settling into my nighttime routine. I've made favorite yogurt dessert. This will never not be the best dessert. Let me show you. So it's just a Chobani Fit yogurt, protein with caramel sauce, and then dark chocolate on the top. And it's just like having a choc top, except so much better for you. So I'm gonna add that and start editing this vlog to go up ASAP. And yeah, that's probably where I'll leave it for today. But there's going to be some good ones coming up soon, some good vlogs. We're doing some exciting shit this week, and I'm so keen for it all and to take you along. So yeah, I'll see you in the next one.